How do you base the scaling and proportion? I mean, comparable to, your clipboard and getting kind of sizings and stuff. I mean, you still got to, you still got to execute. That's
Well,
pretty
you can
heavy
use
going.
a lot of visual references on the walls. These, if it's a brick wall, or there's techniques that you can use. A lot of people use the scribble grid technique now.
Don't get it. I tried to figure it out. I don't get it.
Before we even had phones that could do that, that is how people used to do it. So you look at the wall, and if you say there's a drain pipe coming down, and you need a distance from there, you can roughly work it out. And it's a lot of it's eyeballing, but you get better at it as you go on. The harder ones is when the wall's really tall, and you have to make the head even bigger, because when you're down on the floor, it's further away. So therefore, if you want it to loom
smaller,
over, you've got to make it a lot bigger.
That is insane. I've never ever thought about that, but you're right. So you'll make it bigger just because of the scale of the height, and you know that the head's got to be seen. Wow.
Killa Kela podcast. KillaKelaOfficial.com.
Street Culture TV.
Instagram UK Frontline.
Beatbox created.
Killa Kela.
And we're here to talk about world music and street culture.
Killa Kela podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Killa Kela podcast, live and direct, central London, or as central as you need to be, could be, choose to be. You don't want to be anywhere else, and that ain't a promise. It's a gift, something that we provide across the landscape of street culture, over 650 episodes. And this episode would be no different to the quality and standards that you're used to. Okay, people, our sponsors, the mighty GK Nifty Heads, have 10,000 play-to-earn GraffPunks NFTs to give away. Get ready as London's white trash goes blockchain digital with Bitcoin Cash tokens locked into them to claim. Get yourselves over to the website gkniftyheads.com and play to earn now. We are going over to Brighton, the southest of coasters in the UK, for those of you who ain't from these neck of the woods, to meet a gentleman that is of a collaboratory level. When it comes to his designs and stylistic approach, it's this comical, illustrative, incredible pieces of art that you will find the majority of a lot of festivals and collaborations, such as Sega and Herbalizer and all these different kind of brands. His unique approach to graphic design with monstrous robots, among many things. SNUB23 inside the place. How are we, my brother?
I'm good. That's quite an intro.
Hey, I can't speak, can't lie. It's out there.
It is, yeah. I guess I'm old enough to have done a lot of things.
Life is but a journey. And before we even started, you mentioned it's been quite a patchwork of trail of events for you across your career and life.
Yeah. I've not followed any kind of normal route, I guess. I'm old enough to remember the analog world when we didn't have technology like this, and we had comic books as an inspiration, and we fed off stuff that wasn't, a bit slower paced maybe, but if you consumed a lot of it, you could get an idea of what you wanted to be, I guess.
It's interesting you go there in that train of thought, because these are informative years that kind of help build and structure your creative way of thinking. It's horses for courses, depending on what generation and who you're speaking to, because everyone has their own experiences. But the fundamentals of how we're brought up in the creative field, some of it is accidental, but a lot of it is just traditional passing down, right?
Yeah, I mean, any kind of craft, I believe, it's best learnt from people with experience in doing such a thing. I guess it can be in our culture, it can be an alternative route, but I'm one of a few artists whose parents were teachers of art. So my dad was a photography teacher and ended up at head of an art department at Cambridge Regional College, taught many people, influenced and helped a lot of people become what they wanted to become. But I also appreciate that in graffiti and stuff, we're seen as outsider art. So and also that reflects in a few things, because I come from a council estate upbringing, Yeah, when I went to secondary school, I got a scholarship because I did so well at school and got into a private school and went to a boarding school with lots of other kids.
Wow.
So I got to hang out with rich kids when coming from a poorer background. And my dad's teaching of art was never about money. It was always about finding what your message was and what it is that you wanted to say.
Right.
And it's given me an outlook where I don't really do things for money. I do things to survive, obviously, like most people do. But I'm never going to be proud of selling something for loads and loads of money. I'll be more proud of people that I respect liking my work and understanding what I'm about and, you know, leaving my mark as many places as I can. I'm a father now as well, so I want to leave something behind that maybe my daughter can look back on and go, yeah, my dad did that, you know, like I do for my dad. You know, I can look at any of his photographs now and see me in them. You know?
Wow.
So it's quite a lot. That's quite a big sentence. I've just,
No.
I've been thinking about what I would talk to you about, and I'm not like hip hop, graffiti, painted trains, did all of that. That's not me. I'm, like you say in the intro, I grew up on comics and graphic design, and I did work experience at like ID magazine, and I was like part of the Prodigy rave scene. We used to go to squat parties and do a lot of stuff there. So my kind of painting derelict buildings and stuff is different to painting train yards and things like that. I guess it's a different angle.
And you know what? 100%. The motivation of me wanting you on the podcast, similarly to the audience that watch the show, is the dynamics and the breadth in which people get influenced by the use of applicating spray paint via a can. And you know, going back to what you were saying regarding your father and the inherent lineage of giving back within your art, not over forcing it as a commodity, but enough for, you know, for reasonable business and survival.
Do commercial works as well as your own personal works. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, sure. But also to know that you come from a rave background, squat party background, the early to mid 90s ID fashion culture. I mean, this was very much that free spirited time, so far as get your art out. Let's just get on with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, jungle music is probably the audio version of how I see a lot of it. You know, pulling from lots of different sources and making a sound that's unique, and the vibe of the people in the community from that rave scene, not just the drug infused stuff, but the getting together to put a party on. So I used to help do flyers and mixtapes with DJs and record covers and stuff. But that's all part of the culture for me, you know.
I remember the flyers. I remember you doing flyers.
Yeah, so it was very big. I mean, even your stuff, I've seen your stickers and you're a massive part of that culture. And we were all doing it and we didn't really necessarily know each other, but that community was still there, even if we might have walked past each other at a party somewhere, you never know.
Yeah, I do not doubt it for a second. I used to hang out in Brighton quite a lot.
Right, yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me. And that's a lovely feeling, you know, to know, and you didn't have to have a friend on Facebook or follow them on Instagram to feel that feeling of community, you know.
100%. This the illusion, and it is illusion, that we're all closer because of social media. I think there is a degree of separation that is, you know, it is brought closer, which is very cool. But on the most part, you know, it's just that extra WhatsApp message that interferes with your day that you don't need. It's that extra, you know, Facebook notification or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's this constant barrage of.
They can change your mood, you know. There's things that you can't let in sometimes, especially when you're trying to think about something, you know, creative. I I mean, I guess that's why my work is the way it is, because these robots, this future that I draw, is my imagined post-apocalyptic world, I guess, where they dig up the remnants and find the marks that I've been making. You know, it's like a future retro thing. So the aesthetics of the 70s and 80s in modern sci-fi, you know, like all the like crappy Saturday morning comics, cartoons I used to watch, and all these ideas of a future that's not Marvel, it's not Americanized. It was very Japanese and like stoner art from the 60s that big bearded men used to draw, you know, and all the airbrush sci-fi stuff, all the book covers and magazine covers. It's all about the cover art for comics for me. I only really collect annuals now because they have the cover art for me that really kicks. You know, it's that it's the iconography of comic book I like, not so much the story. A lot of people have asked me to write stories, but for me, it's more about the cover.
Totally, I get it.
Yeah. It's record covers, book covers, whatever.
Yeah. So, you know, when we're talking about those kind of record covers, Pink Floyd or Iron Maiden, Eddie, things, and you triggered something in my thinking when you mentioned Saturday morning cartoons. Back in the day, there used to be the Banana Splits, this Hanna-Barbera, right? And it was almost like the first ever physical cartoon. Human cartoon, and they would have these intermittent cartoons in between comedy sketches, and it's that kind of cartoon. It's like a little lower tier than Hanna-Barbera, but Barbera's passable, right?
yeah. But it's like TV that was so you had to catch it then as well. It's like the radio, you couldn't pause it or record it. So I felt like it was a glimpse. You had to kind of suck it in. I wouldn't blink when I was watching it. It's very I mean, even the TV guide, I'd sit there with a TV guide and plan my viewing.
Yeah.
I had no, you know, there's no other way of recording it and doing it. But I'm not saying, I mean, every generation reminisces about the nostalgia of their youth. But I guess what I'm trying to like say about in this kind of is that where my work comes from is that analog handmade stuff. So it doesn't necessarily my art doesn't have to look like the real thing, because a lot of it is an idea.
Yes.
So and that's what's happening, I guess, in the culture now, is a lot of the realism stuff in work is creeping back in. So it's like people judging art by how real it looks.
I struggle with that because I like my mind to fill in the blanks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like if I wanted that, I'd get a photograph. But then I guess nowadays people are making the realism beyond real.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of and I guess that's good. That's just where the path that we were aiming to take eventually was to, you know, become that. You know? Like the skills now that people have with cans, it's like watching skateboarding, BMXing. Like when I was a kid, doing a wheelie and stuff like that was a big deal. Nowadays, they're doing triple flips and spinning it around. And I guess that's the same with this culture as well. Like what you can do with a can has become almost Olympic, you know.
Olympic, like athleticism. The idea that like someone doing a selfie 80 times to find the best one, it's kind of the same with a skateboard trick. And then the next and scorns the next generation of like, he just did that on the cuff. What he did it about 120 times before he got it right. You know?
Right. And same with skateboarding, you know, you try it for 100 times before you got it. That's the point. That's that makes it right, you know. I find that interesting. There is a commonality between. Well, the cultures always have that, and when I think of your designs, I mean, you could see that on a skateboard. It's the feeling of it, and I think that's what you're getting at. The analog take is actually more. These are images that are almost like lifted from a comic of its era. That's what I like about it. Yeah, I've actually had people say that I've copied them from comics, and they're not. They're my versions drawn in the same style as people I like, Brian Boland and people, my heroes.
Yeah.
I like absorbed the way they do things and do it similarly in my way. It's the same when if people to sing or to dance like someone, or we're only ever regurgitating what we're brought up with. I was lucky enough to go to lots of exhibitions and stuff as a kid, just because my dad was, not because he took me to them. He would go and see stuff, and I'd go and see them with him.
Brilliant.
And he had a dark room in the cupboard under the stairs when I was a kid, and I saw him process photos and make them in our house. So I saw a blank sheet of paper and a picture appear on it. So these kind of the processes that I saw him. So I'd see him take the picture, then make the picture, and then put it on the frame on the wall. It's seeing that process to completion. You see that in anything like screen printing, lino printing, any kind of creative. If you see the whole process, it's like people call it ASMR or whatever now. But for me, that was like making an idea in your head into a real thing. That's it. That's magic, And we do it when we go and paint walls, and you just turn up with a bag of paint and a dirty old wall, and you make something of it. And when you walk away, it's there.
It's fucking magic, man.
It's amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And I've been showing people, like, and helping a new guy recently to do this, and he's previous to painting, he didn't really think he could do it, and now he's the one asking, "Can we go painting? Can we go?" And he's got the buzz now. Yeah, and it's lovely to see. You can get that at any age. You can get into it at any age, and it can help you. It's a real therapeutic thing.
Yeah, for sure. On that note of processing, sketches, because if you're coming into the game, I mean, you must have, your protege there will be sketching whilst we're talking. but do you do a lot of sketching? Is that a fundamental in your day?
I do diagrams. So I have a old school clipboard. And so I'll start with maybe a word or a shape, and then it'll evolve on the paper. So I don't really try and think when I'm doing that. So then a load of stuff will happen on the paper, and then I might see something and take pictures of it. I collect a lot of photographs. So then the words might link to a picture I've seen, and while I'm listening to a tune, a lyric in that might inspire the drawing. So a lot of my stuff is, like say, sci-fi or futuristic. So I might hear a lyric or even a word in a TV program that will make me think of a picture in my head, and then that's how it happens more than me drawing something I see. I do have a model of my robot now. I'll grab it for you.
Yes, please. We are in the lion's den here. I mean, even behind you here. Look, wow, that's crazy. That's some like Daft Punk madness.
This is the official ABC Warriors robot. Oh, his head's come off. So I can function. I can put his head actually comes off. I can change his face.
No.
So 2000 AD brought this robot out, which is the actual one. My girlfriend bought it for me, and I didn't realise what I could do with it for quite some time. And then this guy, I can pose him and put him into positions.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I take his legs off, and then I put him onto like a mount, and then I can get him into more aggressive poses. And then I make props for him. So I've got a speaker. I can stand him on a speaker, have him holding it. So I'm doing a series at the moment, inspired by music, and I've got a big subwoofer in my garage now, which is my studio.
Nice.
And I go out there and have got a bit of a bass bath in there, and that kind of inspires a lot of these drawings as well. So you must have it when you're in front of a massive sound system, and it's whacking at you, and you really feel it. I imagine in my head that I'm this character, and I'm much more like the bass is kind of, and the way the music can crunch forward and have a progressive feeling of moving. Yeah, that I'm trying to visualize in this guy. He is the music that's thumping and thudding along. So when he has his fist going, he's making the beat and the bass.
Yeah,
with physical sounds. It's a bit. I don't know. I guess it's a bit abstract thought about things. So these, I've done one recently for Paint and Beer in Amsterdam, my event I did out there, and
which is awesome, by the way. I love that. I haven't been yet, but it does look fantastic. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Paint and a beer.
but it's quite anarchic. So I put a flag in the robot's hand with the anarchy symbol on it, and then I set a fan up blurring it, so it looks like it's in motion. So that when I do my sketches, I'm coming from somewhere that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And that's only really happened in the past couple of years. Before that, I was purely going off of my own thoughts. But when you're drawing something that's not real, so not human body, it gives you two things. It's more flexible where you can add bits and make it more real. But I also, because he's not a transformer, he's not Iron Man.
No.
He's very like ABC Warriors and Mongrel are very English comics, so they're very British, like Judge and all that, all done by English artists with an English storyline. So he's kind of a rusty old English dude, not a shiny American plastic chrome thing. He's a grumpy old British like mongrel. So it's a mutation of lots of different things. So he's in the storyline of the ABC Warriors, he lost his head and was rebuilt, and he's built out of lots of things that were found. So the thing in Amsterdam is like ADM, and I don't know if you heard of the Mutoid Waste Company.
No. Oh, yes, I have actually. Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, they do a lot of stuff for Glastonbury.
That's it.
And the bad thing is these mutations where they get a car and put a thing onto it.
That's it.
When I went, because I went travelling through Europe in the 2000s, early, like from the millennium era, I was out in Europe with sound systems, and we go from town to town, and we put a party on, and we do all the decor, and we paint like backdrops and stuff, and seeing people who had never seen anything like that before, the wonder on their faces when you're like you've got a flamethrower behind the decks, so every time he goes for it, the flamethrower's going off.
Crazy.
You could see people's faces and like that. So these kind of ideals that I learned in my youth are what I'm trying to make now, that energy, that surge of the crowd when the song they know comes on. You know, those kind of feelings from, I don't know, it's quite primal, those parties back then.
Yeah.
Every weekend you're doing a party, putting one on, and it's not about getting wasted, you know, in a way, because you can't maintain that. Like, I realised that anyway. If you're taking drugs every weekend, you're either going to become a junkie or you're going to learn from that culture and turn it into something that you're really passionate about. So you get guys who install sound systems, put up marquees. That I consider them all the same. I've got friends that stage manage like stages at Glastonbury. That's the same thing. My friend in Amsterdam who brews beer and puts on parties with wicked music, that's the same thing. So they're all doing the same thing from the sound system culture that we're all part of. Even what you're doing right now, you know, that's all from the music that inspired us as youth, you know.
Totally, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm talking to you like this, like you're the one, you know more than me.
No. These are the philosophies that we both share, and what I love is your passion to the cause. And this is what's uncanny, because the more you're talking, the more my head is spilling out of, I remember on that flyer, that cover, like you have been your robot has been symbolic of an era that went across the medium of its time, but also transcended to 2025, but was very much a part of the visual backdrop. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud to be part of it, you know. And I see people like yourself, when I bump into older people that were there as well. It's good memories, you know. We had a good time back then. We had a lot more freedom with no CCTV and no cameras with phones with cameras. You know, we could be, I guess we had that, and also our parents were all punks and hippies. So it's like we were bound to do something that was different, I guess.
Sure. You know, you mentioned the archetype Britishness of your creation there. Yeah. This robot that, I don't know, he's not quite ready for his flat cap and slippers, but he'll certainly mow the lawn for you. He's almost like, I guess he's like the servant to the the higher echelon of the society, I guess.
Yeah, he's not aggressive. He doesn't have any weapons. So
Yeah.
I mean, in the comic, he has guns in his head that he fires at people. But that's not where I'm with it. I painted him in China. So when I went to China and painted out there, they asked about him out there, and I spoke like I am to you about him, and they said, "Oh yeah, he's a protector then." And I was like, "Oh, I guess so, yeah." And they're like if there was someone being bullied, he'd turn up, but he wouldn't do anything. He'd just stand there, and his presence is enough, you know.
Yeah. Like
and
a
I
lurch.
guess, and it's almost like that. Yeah, because I was quite tall as a kid. I was like 6 foot by the time I was 12. So I was always like called lurch, or I was always the one that was people would want to have along to stand in the background and just be there.
Wow.
So, and you get that at the raves and the parties as well, because I'd be the big guy, and people either thought I was a bouncer or selling drugs. They never thought I was one of the guys, you know. But then, like I was saying earlier, the biggest part of the party scene for me was when it came to the other side, when I'd be behind the stage and making the thing happen. That's when I found it much more, enjoyed it much more. Yeah. Not that I didn't feel like I was like VIP, but I felt like I could help make things better sometimes. So if the DJ's there and no one had sorted out some drinks or something, I always loved being the guy that would go, "Here you go, man, get you some water." Because I felt it's a real good feeling of going, "Oh yeah," because you're helping each other. That's the community of the rave scene.
Yeah, 100%. It's the collaboration of it all, isn't it?
You'd all help, you know. If
some of the parts.
It was a really nice feeling, and I enjoyed the era. I'm sure it's still out there. I mean, I do a lot of work with Volks nightclub down here.
Oh yeah,
and those kids have got the same vibe. They love the bass, you know. They love it loud, you know. It's and it's not always about bringing big names in. So they'll bring a lot of the old guys in. Like Randall was down recently.
Oh wow, rest in peace, Randall.
All the old bass heads.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, there's always that generational shift, but when it comes to club culture, you're working within your means, and a lot of those means are based on the practices of what people have done over generations. That's kind of, and you see that with Glastonbury, you see that with you know, with those kind of festivals. Maybe not so much.
Boomtown seems like a good
and Boardmasters as well. I mean, that's where my mind goes when I think about those more rustic kind of roots level festivals that have really done well for themselves, you know. Yeah, we love that. Your character, as you were talking, I thought to myself, man, it's like if that's your creation, you're kind of the person.
Well, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say it is mine necessarily. I'm kind of keeping it alive, I guess, because Mongol was designed by someone else.
Okay.
And I've kept him alive and pushed it forward. And I recently did a big piece in Birmingham, and it got shared on the 2000 AD socials, which to me is kind of the biggest accolade I can have, because at no point have they had a problem with me doing what I do anyway. But I've never claimed that he's mine, you know, but he's my version of a character. So I guess, I mean, all the Disney stuff gets reverbed and everyone's kind of like yeah. It is. But yeah, I can't really claim him as mine, but I've made him mine. I guess that's the...
An adoptee.
Yeah. No, I guess other people have painted him. Some great people have painted him. But I do him my way. And I guess that's the process that I've been through, the journey that I've had. Like, when I first did him, he was very, like, janky and kind of flat and 2D. Yeah. Now he's got his hands and his legs are involved. He's holding things, you know. And that's developed with my own, like, skill levels and the way my journey, you know. So I've learned new things along the way, you know.
Adaptation. Yeah,
exactly.
Adaptation, yeah.
And it's how it should be. You don't just come out the gate just like being amazing. You've got to be, well, you never get that. I never think that I've got like nothing to learn. I've always learning, you know, always.
Yeah, technique. I mean, when I see the scale of how big you paint, I mean, it's not for the faint-hearted, my friend.
No, But it's fun. It's when you're on top, when you're up high, it's the best. I'm jealous. Whenever I see people with cherry pickers, I'm jealous of that.
Well, immediately. Fuck up there.
Yeah, straight away.
How do you base the scaling and proportion? I mean, comparable to, you know, your clipboard and getting kind of sizings and stuff. I mean, you still got to, you still got to execute. That's pretty
You
heavy
can use
going.
a lot of visual references on the walls. These, if it's a brick wall, or there's techniques that you can use. Like a lot of people use a scribble grid technique now.
Don't get it. I tried to figure it out. I don't get it.
Before we even had phones that could do that, that is how people used to do it. So you look at the wall, and if you say there's a drain pipe coming down, and you need a distance from there, you can roughly work it out. And it's a lot of it's eyeballing, but you get better at it as you go on. You know, the harder ones is when the wall's really tall, and you have to make the head even bigger, because when you're down on the floor, it's further away. So therefore, if you want it to loom up, you've got to make it a lot bigger.
That is insane. I've never ever thought about that, but you're right. So you'll make it bigger just because of the scale of the height, and you know that the head's got to be seen. Wow.
Yeah, but then sometimes people do straight lines that are on across a ridiculous arrow just did recently.
Yeah, big up arrow.
He painted a straight line. So you look at the photograph, straight line. Look at it from an angle. It goes over 6 different surfaces that are all at different angles. But the line looks straight from the one that you're looking at. So, and a lot of times you don't see that on your little phone screen.
No.
You have to see the picture and really zoom in or see it in real life. So, but that's part of what we do. So I even painted yesterday an abandoned spot that you can't get to. The public won't ever see it.
Mm.
But I put more effort into it than I put just the same effort into it as anywhere else.
Yeah.
I know it looks right now. So that when people see it, they'll get a true version of what I intended. And when you're an artist, I think that's the best bit. So if you write a song and someone else is DJing and plays your song, you see the audience go mental. That's got to be it. And the same happens with visuals. When you paint a painting in town and then you go past and you see someone's taking a photo of it.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling because know, and it's nothing to do with you, really. They're not taking that because of you. It's a thing you made, and they're admiring that thing, not you. It's really weird. Like it's a different. If you're a musician singing a song and people are cheering you, I guess that's direct. But
no, you're right. There's an argument if you're a DJ that, you know, what are they cheering, the song or the selector? No, I get that.
Oh no, that's good. That's good as well. But I guess with a bit of art, there's a real separation there. Between the person and the art. Because some people I've got as really good friends, and I don't necessarily understand their artwork. And other people, I love their work, but I don't even know the person. So you know, it's a strange one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the podcast in general is a strange one, you know, because the amount of times people say, "Oh, I didn't know he'd look like that. I didn't know she would be like," you know. And it's quite. What's interesting about you and your art is you're almost like the operator in the head of the machine.
Yeah. Well, I see it as armor. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, especially being anonymous in your art, is that you can project a version of you that's not you. And you can also put it on to protect yourself. So when I'm SNUB, I feel much stronger, you know. It's like he is like my best friend, but he's also me as well. So it's an alter ego that you are part of. The robot, it definitely is part of me, you know. And it always was from the kid that read it. That when it first came out, I mean, this comic is not just something I plucked out of the air. I was reading the Beano and 2000 AD, and when the mongrel character came in, and he was just always the one in the background, never saying anything, and I was like, "Here's the guy in the back," and then he comes out in the storylines. He does more, but you could see that the artist almost couldn't fit him in the comic because he was so big.
Yeah.
It's the scale of it that I love. And when you get a chance to paint him big, it's really nice to like, yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Oh man, yeah. You're passing on the tradition of a character that just needs his space.
Yeah.
A man needs his space.
Yeah, but it's good.
What's the future, my brother? What is the future?
Well, at the moment, like my partner, who's also a painter, Sprite, she's very good at doing talking to clients and stuff like that. So we do a lot of business with drinks companies, music festivals, and things like that. So work that I don't put online, we do that quite often,
Nice.
just to pay the bills. It also means that we don't have to produce artwork to sell artwork. Use it for the fun of doing it.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're prepping for Southend Paint Jam, which is on in a couple of weeks.
I love those books.
I've got my design ready.
Show me.
Where have I put it? Oh, I'm on the iPad right now, aren't I? So I can't.
Damn it.
I might have it here, actually. But yeah, I do a lot of planning for my art. So for Paint and Beer in Amsterdam, I've got my one ready for that now. And then when I do that, I can print a T-shirt of it. While I'm painting it, I have the same design on me. So I'm trying to harness technology now to make things happen in that way. So I can order a T-shirt and within 5 days it'll arrive and it will have the same design that I'm about to do. I can also have a print ready to sell. But again, I do this. So a lot of paint jams, I'll turn up. So Glasgow and Southampton, I turn up with a box of prints. They're only like 20 quid each. So when someone comes along and they like it, I say, oh, and they just buy, and all that does is just pays for my transport and things like that. So it's not really about me. I don't release them on my website, so you can only really get them if you see me there. So it's a bit like that.
This is entrepreneurial speed.
Whenever I see kids watching me, I always make sure they get a print or some stickers.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that if you do that, then those kids in 10 years later, they'll be the ones picking up a can, or they'll ones be believing that they can do this. A lot of the time now, art isn't being taught in the same way, and people aren't seeing, like, there's a lot of kids out there doing crazy little drawings because the art teacher has got to tick boxes and that picture should look like the real thing.
Yeah.
They don't think that art's a real thing that they can do, so they'll end up doing a shit job. So I try and inspire them to make them believe that they can do what I do.
That's cool as fuck.
It's how you should be. It's like how you're a custodian of this culture, really. So you need to be, if you want to keep it alive, you have to do that. You see it in skateboarding a lot, like down even in Brighton, any skate park you go, if a kid's trying to learn a trick and there's an older one there, he'll help him. Especially if he's showing determination. And that's how you do it. That's how we keep this culture going, so that in 20, 50, 30, whatever years, it's still going, So that's what we do now, me and Sprite, to try and we either do commercial jobs, the public events, we do our own little painting missions when we want to. And yeah, like my daughter is really into it. She can spray well now, so I'm trying to do that. I'm taking her to the Gorillas exhibition.
That'd be cool.
Well, it's really weird because I actually knew those guys way back when I was at art college myself. So it's really, the cycle has gone full circle now. So me painting 2000 AD stuff at comic conventions and getting shared by them, and my daughter going to Gorillas, it's all a bit full cycle. I am feeling my age now.
Yeah, but it's a bit poetic, isn't it?
Yeah. Good way,
yeah, for sure. So I just love that. I love the idea that you're pre-prepped with posters, flyers, and T-shirts, and then you're executing exactly what you've done on the merchandise. And like you say, if it means you're, paying for your paint and paying for your travel, it's cream and gravy. That's what it should be about.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, a lot of these events you get a little bit, so they pay a bit of paint, but you can't do what we do fully funded. You have to grind a bit at it. And I don't always want to do the ones where you get paid loads of money because that puts pressure on you to perform. you know. The one in Southampton's really good. That was in the multi-story. Have you heard
Yeah, I
about
heard about this one. Yeah.
Got a real good vibe because it's literally like an open gallery, and it's the kind of spaces we used to hang out in anyway.
Yeah, nice.
In the car parks and the forgotten places. You know what I mean,
Yeah, I love
did
those.
you had a big sticker campaign, didn't you, with Solo?
Yeah, that's right. In 2002, it's funny we was only talking about that. Me and Boyd. Yeah, yeah. It was
I
a big
remember
one.
it so much because that was a bit like, wow, these guys are slamming the whole country.
Really did.
It's insane. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, did.
Yeah,
Yeah, and again, like because we was on tour as well, it was just like, right, get in the back, Boyd. We're going sticker in. Like we did go Leicester all over the place. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's inspired me as well. You see, that's what you did then. All triggers other things, you know. And the same with what I've done. I don't really see it the way you see it.
Yeah, true. I guess it's subjective. If you're sitting on the inside looking out, you'll be inspired, and vice versa, to the behaviours and stuff over the years that has led us to where we are, right?
Very true.
My brother, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, sorry if I've sounded so old. I could have been more hip and young, I suppose, but I'm just being true to myself and my age, I guess.
Who are you kidding? You're doing some of the most upfront graff that's out there, mate. You're all right, kid.
You're all right. Cool. We'll keep doing what you're doing, man. It's great.
Thank you, my brother. And listen, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a real treat having a chat and, chewing the fat, getting the, setting the world to rights, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, Killa Kela podcast, it was out of fashion. It's been real. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to have you, all right? Remember, crime don't pay, neither today. So don't talk to her and I wouldn't. You stay lucky, people. Nice one, SNUB. Peace. There we go.